I want to talk for a quick second about the state level. How many of you have followed the veto express of the last few months? How many vetoes have we seen in this session? 50? 50 something? 51. 53. Do I hear 54? All right? That's the Chris way. Here's the thing. We had an amazing night in November of 2018 as a party. We took back the Executive Council and the State House and the State Senate. We took care of business at the federal level, and we are poised to do all the same in 2020. But there is one little problem with the process. The governor's seat. Now, I was here almost exactly a year ago seeking to be your nominee. And you probably know how that worked out, or else Roger would have introduced me differently. But the problems didn't go away, it turns out. And I'm going to talk real frank with you, because if we're not candid about it, we're not going to fix the problem. I want to list for a moment some of the things where Chris Sununu's position is clear and in the minority of public opinion in the state of New Hampshire. Where do you start? He says he's pro-choice, but refuses to codify abortion rights into state law, which in the era of the post-Kavanaugh confirmation, to me, is part of the definition of being pro-choice. He won't do that. On guns, he vetoed a slew of things in the past week or so. A red flag law, supported by 3/4 of New Hampshireites. A 48-hour wait period, supported by 80% of New Hampshireites. That would single-handedly reduce gun suicides by 40% in New Hampshire. He vetoed that. He could have allowed it to become law without his signature. He could have supported it. There is no bill this year that would have saved more lives if it had become law than the wait period. And some of you last year might recall that I was touched by this issue in the recent past. This one got personal real quick. 80% of New Hampshireites want us to pass universal background checks and red flag law and the wait period. But he vetoed all of them. The business tax cuts that go to folks out of state at the same time that we're getting sued because we don't do our constitutional responsibility and fund education. Not only does he take the pledge, he continues to siphon money away from the schools. And I feel like we're at a place where we know better. And we had a chance last September in the primary and last November as a state to send a statement that we're not going to wait until we lose a Supreme Court lawsuit. We're not going to wait for another generation of kids in Claremont or Berlin to go and have less than the kids in Bedford or Windham or Portsmouth. And we made a decision that there were things more important than doing something definitive on all of these issues. And we paid the price, 53 vetoes. But you know who's not paying the price? Chris Sununu. His approval rating has gone up since he got reelected. The UNH poll had him at 60%. That's up. The Politico Morning Consult poll last month had him at 63% approval. And you know what? That makes him the third most popular governor in America. Does that sound right to you? How is it? I don't think... Is he the third most popular governor in this room? Hell no. Okay. So here's the question we all got to answer as Democrats, folks, or else we're going to be wishing we had the right governor 2 years from now. And I'm not leaving this state, so my kids are still here, and that is not acceptable. We got to ask ourselves, how can somebody be in the minority on environmental policy and tax policy and education policy and gun policy and reproductive rights? How can he be? Check it yourself. How can he be the only governor in America who supports Donald Trump for re-election in a state that Hillary Clinton won in 2016? There is one governor in America who meets that criteria, and he's our governor. It is cognitive dissonance. There is no reason he should still be our governor. So how can somebody that does the wrong thing in popular opinion all the time see his approval rating continue to go up? And this is the breaking news I got for you to think about over the next 15 months. We will not get a chance on a debate stage in late October of 2020. We will not get a chance to debate him on guns and reproductive rights and the minimum wage and environmental. We will get none of that if we do not first meet the test of affability, because he's so damn affable, youthful energy, and candidly, raw charisma on a TV screen. If we do not match that, if we do not nominate the best political athlete that we've got in our stable, then it will not matter that we're right on the issues. And how do I know that? Because that's already happened in the last 2 elections. And so when we are thinking about what we want to do as a state, I might need medical attention at this guy. There we go. Medicare for all, I need it right now. If we do not think about that in the early stages of the nomination process, we are in a place where we will enjoy a lot of success around the governor's race on the ticket, but not the governor's spot itself. And it means that all the work that our majorities in the Senate and the House and the Executive Council, all the good work, will be academic. I refuse to continue in a state that is trending blue, where we are on the right side of history. I refuse to have to hope that we can get a handful of Republicans to join us to override a veto. That's the only way we get big things done. That is not who we have to be. We do not have to live in a defensive posture. I believe that in the times that we're in right now, and I said this last year, it's true in the presidential race, I know it's true here in New Hampshire. We are not just trying to win elections and do public policy. We are trying to define the future of our party, of our state, and in our own small way, of our country. These are the stakes. And so whatever your priorities are about what you would like to communicate in the process of deciding who you like up and down the ballot, please keep in mind that if you do not win, you do not get to lead. And these are the times where we make those decisions. I'll make a decision a little later in the process about what I'm going to do in 2020. But right now, I want to make sure that we get the right person for President of the United States. Because as much as I dislike Chris Sununu in the role of governor, I really dislike Donald Trump in the role of president.